Hello, it's Jacqueline. Yeah, we're getting there. It's almost 3 and I'm just getting my stove hot here for our cooking class today. So when you pop in, make sure you say where you're in from. I don't know where you're watching me from, if it's Canada, the United States, or elsewhere. However, I have a really fun cooking class today. You're gonna love it. I'll warn you. It's actually one of my ultimate favorites. It's one of my top 3 in the new catalog. Hey, Mom, how are you doing? Nice to see you. All right, so let's get started. What I'm doing today, I don't know if you can hear the background music, but I have some Italian music going because today my cooking class is going to be sort of featured on Italian. So to speed up the process, I've already put roughly a tablespoon of olive oil into our saute pan, and I've already started to cook chicken. Now, I'm gonna tell you, this recipe, you can speed it up, but I like caramelizing chicken. I just love that the natural juices get brown, and if you do it properly, your chicken will still stay moist. Now, this recipe, it actually says to use chicken thighs. You guys know I don't follow instructions. Hey, Lynn, nice to see you. I don't follow instructions very well, but today I'm going to be doing the lemon chicken orzo. Oh my gosh, have you had a chance to try it yet? Anyone have a chance to try it yet? It's hot off the press, and I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna be my company's favorite orderer on that. I have made it for family, I've made it for friends, even foodies, and they're loving it. I've served it to 3 different couples, and all 3 of them have purchased. So I'm gonna tell you, you can't go wrong with ordering this. So in your saute pan, we've got this chicken cooking, and you wanna brown it on both sides. The ingredients, I'm gonna get this started really, really fast because this is gonna take a little bit of time, but it's almost like a set it and forget it type of thing. So you're gonna see it featured in our catalog. And it basically budget comfort foods, lemon chicken orzo. You get 3 packages, and 3 packages is not gonna be enough. I'm just warning you, you're gonna have to purchase more. So feel free to order multiples of 3. You'll love it. And I'm already coming out with some new ideas. So we've got this going. What we're going to do is in a bowl, and I've got our 4-cup prep bowl here. We're going to add 1 3/4 cups. I love that I've got this prep bowl here. It's 1 cup, but it's actually got measuring graduations printed right on in the inside. So I know that when I fill to that line, it's 3/4 cup. I've put roughly a sprinkle of this seasoning already on my chicken, which is why the package was opened. Inside is where all the yummy is. I'll read the ingredients once I get it in the bowl. The ingredients are organic lemon powder, tapioca powder. We've got inactive nutritional yeast, sea salt, organic cane sugar, parsley, basil, paprika, black pepper, oregano, celery seeds. Oh my gosh, can you taste it already? Hello there, Audrey. Hi there, Liz and Lynn. Okay, so I'm using my little mini whisk here to just get rid of the lumps. And what we're going to do is we are going to, now that your chicken's cooked, we're gonna add some unsalted butter. Why do we use unsalted? And I'm gonna talk about salt today because we really need to cut out the sodium. I don't know if you've been watching any shows, but most of the online shows right now, if you're watching, are all talking all about health. And having too much sodium is really not that healthy for you, which is why people love Epicure. Our products are really low in sodium. And of course, if we promote cooking with unsalted butter, that helps. There is, as you heard, sea salt in this package, so you don't need to have the additional salt in your butter. All right, so we're adding that. Now, we're gonna add capers. I love capers. Oh my gosh, I love capers. My assistant said, do you have any capers in your house? Is that a question? So I'm using our 4-in-1 spoon. And what I like about this is it fits into any jar, even the 1 cup. Hi, Karen. Hey, Linda. And I'm just sort of straining it. We're gonna add a 1/4 of a cup. I'm almost done with this, so I could just dump the whole thing in. However, I want it drained. I don't want that additional liquid in there. Because it's super salty, it's in a brine. But I want these lovely, tasty little, I don't know, they're like little pickle morsels, if I was to describe them. I'm gonna drop these right into the bowl. So you can see that what I had left was roughly about a 1/4 of a cup. I'm using our saute spoon, by the way. Just gonna stir this around a bit. Okay, what else are we gonna do? Well, we're going to add orzo. And I'm gonna tell you a little bit about this, but take a look at this. Doesn't it look like rice? It is not rice. Not rice at all. Okay, so we're gonna dump that in. And of course, the mix, can't forget the mix. I'm going to dump this in as well. Get ready, the fun food facts are coming. All right, making sure I scoop all of this out. Now, a little heads up, as you heard, I've made this, I don't know, 5 times already. It just came out on the 6th, you can well imagine. I've been having some fun with it. But I've perfected some ideas, so I'm gonna give that to you as well. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna bring this to a boil. We're gonna put the lid on it, bring it to a boil, and then we're gonna turn it down, and it's gonna sit for about 12 minutes, just until our orzo is soft, okay? So it needs to sort of steam. So now's the time for fun food facts. Oh, yes, I forgot. I should probably throw my tomatoes in here. Tomatoes, hang on, I almost forgot. I should read the instructions once in a while, hey? I think it actually says, I'm looking here going, da-da-da-da-da, and 2 cups of cherry tomatoes. It's not like it's the first time I've cooked this. Using our ceramic knife, 1/4 them or half them, depending on the size. That one was a rather large one. So, depending on what your tomatoes look like. I want bite-sized pieces. I also like the flavor and the looks of it in my dish. So let's get that in. So that's roughly about 2 cups. Okay, now I promise I'm gonna keep the lid on. All right, so some fun food facts. Are you ready? Hey, Deborah, Melissa, I'm missing a whole bunch of you that have popped in. Anyway, here's the deal. Orzo. Orzo is actually a pasta. And I know, Lynn, you're on the cooking class here, and I know that you cannot have gluten. FYI, you can find gluten-free orzo, but it's expensive. Yes, it is expensive. How about an alternative? You saw that they look like rice. So you can actually make this with rice. Swap it right out. It's gonna look the same. You're gonna cook it until it's soft, roughly about the same time. But not only can you swap out orzo for rice, you can actually swap it out for risotto too. Are you ready for this? Orzorotto. Yes, if you make risotto with orzo, it's orzorotto, which brings me to Italy. Fun food fact, because we're gonna sit here for a few minutes while this is cooking. Here's the deal. Some fun food facts about salt. Okay, salt actually is a derivative, and I wrote this down so I wouldn't forget. Salero. And salero in Italian means celery. Actually, a commodity, the commodity to be had going back in history was salt. It was a preservative. It was like gold, in fact. And of course, celery means sail, and sail means salt. So there you go, salt, money, good for you, yes. Which, now I'm gonna talk about superstition. I'm flying all over the map today, guys. So the superstition is, if you spill salt or oil, it is bad luck. Well, because it was so expensive back then, not as expensive today, but you did not want to spill salt. If you spilled salt, you were going to have bad fortune, because of course salt relates to money, right? In fact, bad luck, it actually goes back in history to the Last Supper. Judas was sitting at the table. He knocked over the salt with his elbow. Well, you know what happened to him. And if you don't know, he died. okay? Spilling salt is bad. So if you spill salt, you have to do something about it. Now, some of you may watch cooking shows. Hey, Deborah from South Carolina, nice to see you. Hey, and Carol, I'm not sure where you're coming in from. Write down where you're from. I know a few common people's names here. Anyway, so where was I going with this? Okay, so the thing is salt is, if you have bad luck, you've probably noticed that a lot of people don't have bad luck, and you might be watching cooking shows and you'll notice chefs throw salt over their shoulder. Have you ever watched a show? Hey, Barbara. Chefs usually throw salt over the shoulder. Not this shoulder. I don't know if I'm in reverse for you, but you always throw salt over your left shoulder. Always, always, always. This is going to break superstition. And I'm glad Barb's in here because she taught me a superstition here the other day. So this is probably why I'm talking about this, Barb. Anyway, so you throw salt over your left shoulder. This is to get rid of bad luck. So if you're already starting 2023 and you have bad luck, grab the salt shaker. Throw it over your shoulder. Okay? And I hope you have a cleaning lady so you can clean it up later. Okay? But the reason you throw it over your left shoulder is because history tells us that they believed back in ancient times that the devil was sitting on your left shoulder. So when you actually threw salt over your shoulder, you were throwing salt in the devil's eye, and that rendered him useless. And of course, you know, the devil makes you lie and be deceitful. So there you go, guys, salt. Yeah, you don't want to spill it, and some fun food facts about salt. Okay, so today as you saw, we're cooking with chicken, and for those of you who popped in late, I'm making, and I think I can't remember if I made this for Barb and Hal. I think I did. Lemon chicken orzo. Oh my gosh, Barb, was it good? I think I did serve it to her. So this is what I'm making today. Now it says chicken thighs. You can use chicken breasts if you want, but you're going to want to probably brown them as I did. Okay, now why is chicken so good for you? Well, it's lean. It's a high source of protein. You can get it on sale. Actually, it has, it's considered a natural antidepressant. And that's big, because, well, I love it, so it makes me happy. I don't know about you, but no, there's selenium in there. And that actually makes your metabolism feel better, your mind feel better. Anyway, so there is some logic to it. There really, really is. Capers, I mean, you can't help but capers. But if you do not have capers in your kitchen, don't worry about it. You don't need to run out and buy this. Don't think that you need to have them. It's just sort of fun. And you can use, I use cherry tomatoes. You probably noticed that. The cherry tomatoes, if you had just regular tomatoes, you can put that in, but cut them into little chunks. Okay, what else can I share with you? Let's talk about spinach. Spinach is good for you. And we're going to be putting our spinach in this pot as well. It's a one pot meal. So the spinach, make sure it's washed. And I am going to, right now while we're waiting, I'm going to chop this up. So again, I've got our flexible cutting board here. Just slide it over a little bit. And because it's already washed and dried, I'm basically going to pull it out. Now, the reason I'm pulling it out is I have found that if I don't chop up my spinach in advance, it wilts so much and it becomes very stringy. And I don't know if you have baby spinach or if you've got larger spinach, but I mean, who wants spinach hanging out of their teeth? It's not very attractive. So just give it a rough chop if you will. And I love how our ceramic knife just sort of cuts through this. Mine is baby spinach, so I probably could have got away with it. However, I do like making sure that it's got little chunks so it's not so difficult on a fork. I don't like cleaning. If I make it bite-sized pieces, I don't have to worry about putting a knife on the table. Which brings me to the chicken again. If you want to chop your chicken up more than actually having chunks of chicken thighs or chicken breasts, feel free to do that. All right, so I am just going to take a quick peek. It is boiling now. We want to turn this temperature down a little bit. You can see I've got it going. I had said to you that I was going to give you a little tip on making this because I've done this a few times now. The seasoning pack is amazing just as it is. Hi, Angela. However, if you want to extend this a little bit, so let's say you have a larger family, let me just look on here. It says feeds a family of 4 servings. Okay, so if you have a larger family and you only want to use one package, one of the ways that you can extend it to give you more flavor is add more of the Orzo. However, if you do that, you're going to need to add some additional flavor because you don't want to lose the flavor. So what I'm going to recommend is that you may want to put an additional cup of water in here, but because water will dilute it, you may want to consider our Nourish broth. In our catalog, you will not see a lot of really good descriptions, but go to the website. This is basically chicken flavoring, really. It's basically got nutritional yeast, which is really good for you, onions, herbs, sea salt, paprika, turmeric, ginger, natural chicken flavor, yes, celery seeds, celery, black pepper. So this is a good flavoring. So if you're trying to make this meal extend and be more conscious for your family to extend it and not be so expensive, feel free to grab some Nourish broth. I love this. And you might be asking, why do they not call it chicken broth? That's a really good question. No, I'm just kidding. We did go into the United States. I have a funny feeling it has something to do with labeling going across the border, but I don't know. Read the label. It clearly is chicken broth. Okay. And on that note, the chicken broth or the Nourish broth, all those broths that we have in our catalog are really, really low in sodium. So if you are buying broths at your grocery store, oh my gosh, you are really feeding yourself a lot of sodium. Okay, so we've turned this down. Just gonna give this a stir because I'm quite sure it'll be pretty good here. Okay, and I'm just gonna check with a little spoon here. Make sure. I'm actually going out with some girlfriends tonight for dinner. So this is actually, I've got to make sure it's good because I'm taking it over to the neighbors. Perfect. Okay. You have to make sure that it's cooked, okay? So it is done now. So all we need to do, are you ready for this? How easy is this? All you guys did was listen to me. Spinach. Throw that in there. Grab your saute spoon again. And we're just going to slowly wilt this. I don't know if you can see. Here, let's turn this camera just a little bit more so you can see it a little bit better. Oops. I didn't like when I turned that. Get that going. Oh, power mode. Let's turn that down. Okay, so we're just gonna slowly get this wilted. And you have your amazing meal, 1 pot meal. Love that. Don't need to do a lot of cleaning up. And it's looking fabulous. Wouldn't you say? What do you think? Amazing. Plating it. Get your bowl. Of course, spinach takes no time at all to cook. So you can literally just put this in a bowl. Make sure you get some chicken pieces in there. Healthy portion, 4 ounces of chicken. If you're wondering how much 4 ounces looks like, it's the size of a deck of cards. So put in a deck of cards. You've got a little bit of your pasta. If you have any parsley or whatever, you might want to put a little bit of parsley on the top. And guys, you have supper literally done in minutes. It is so darn delicious. I think I'm gonna have to have some myself. Anyway, that is today's cooking class. I'm highly recommending this. In fact, it's one of my top 3. Come back for another cooking class. Next week, I'm gonna be featuring another recipe, but I'm going to be doing it very different from what the package says, so come in and stay tuned. If you are thinking you would like to get some product to fill your pantry, start eating healthy, book your own cooking class so I can save you money. We give great host benefits. You can do it online or in person. I love the in person because you get to taste it. And if you are looking for a really fun way to share your family meal and make money, we have a great promotion going on right now with a discounted kit. So I wish you all the best, guys. Come back again. Thank you so much for being on my call and my cooking class today, and we will see you again next Thursday. Hope you enjoyed the class. Bye for now.